Hey everybody, so yes, we are basically done. Sorry I haven't made an update video for a couple of days. It's basically, we got up to the weekend and realised we were behind where we wanted to be. We didn't think this would take this long, and it took a lot longer because there was an awful lot of sourcing and a load of complications along the way, which I'm going to get into and tell you a story. Oh God, it's so cursed. We realised we needed to knuckle down and get it done, and I literally was non-stop, so I didn't even have time to grab the camera and just go, look what I'm doing. When I last spoke to you, we got the first layer of paint on the wall. I'd actually said I'd used 6 litres in that, it was actually 9, and we ended up needing to use another 5 to do Reno's office and finish off in here. It was yeah. So, paint's on. Everything looks nice. We also had a compounding factor, which is we needed to get Reno's office done so she could work in there as of today, because she had to return to work. So she's now got her office, it's fully done. I can't show you in there because she's actually working at the moment, but I can show you what I've done in here. I also put the desk in and built this out as I'd want it to be. So I'm going to show you what I've done, what we got so far. So there is a few more bits to be done. I want to add in some more lighting and stuff. And then I will tell you the story, the cursed story, start to finish, of building this desk. But right, first things first, I'll show you around. Oh God, there's cable. I forgot I had a cable on it. Right, so this is the charging station thing. I'm going to do a separate video on this because everyone needs to make one of these, whether you're a creator or you just have a load of gadgets, you need to make one of these. I'll get into that in a minute. So I've got my helmets and stuff up here, things that people gave to me a very long time ago. And then in here, oh, the organisation. I had so much storage, this is empty. It's amazing. Camera stuff on here, we've moved stuff into baskets, you know, all the rig stuff, so I can grab whatever I need without having to move other stuff to get it, which is amazing. Straps, mounts, harnesses. Okay, so the next bit is the YouTube memory shelf. We have, you know, the bismuth crystals I made in videos, a pipe someone sent me, reminds me of Cecil. Jack Garden Snake's old plate. A golden toilet someone sent me, 3D printed, because I said I didn't own one, and they said, well, you do now. Bit of old Derek, smarter everyday stuff. Derek's old ball, you know, some nuts and things that were made, things I sold in the past, like these keychains, welded keychains. That Velociraptor claw I made out of bismuth, there's a video. Painting that Stinger, yes, no, Sidewinder missile, aim 9. Painted a video on that, I've got videos talking about that. Very popular videos actually, because I own one of those and a bit of this. Anyway, in here we have all the video stuff. So I've got my mounts and stuff that I use for on-bike videos, 360 cameras, Insta cameras, same thing, you know what I'm saying, it's the 1R and the other ones, GoPro bits. I've got another set of drawers over there with all the mounts and all my cables and things like that. And then on the wall we've got the lovely, golden, Jesus, no chance of that, silver play button, and Betty's face. The desk. Now I'm very proud of this desk. Hold on, let me move my chair out of the way. I built this to be perfect for me, so if you don't like it, I don't care. So we've got a built-in work surface with my screen mounts that I had previously. All this is just stuff I had before. The only new thing I've bought is this worktop, which is the cursed story. Use my insulation from the old room, sound foam, to try and deaden it a bit of the echo. There is still a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. Obviously, this is very Yeah, by the way, I use trackballs, okay? I haven't used a mouse other than when I've been forced to in over a decade. I don't understand why more people don't use these in video editing and stuff like that. They are amazing. And you can really accurately draw lines with them and stuff if you're doing some stuff. You have to get used to it though. Anyway, I have been experimenting with using one of my old digital SLRs, it's a 600D, as a webcam, as in to use with OBS for recording stuff in here, because I want that whole idea of being able to just sit, smack a button and record, and talk about anything I want to at the exact moment I want to do it, rather than writing it down and then later going back to it. I think it'll make videos much better that way. I built this little cubby for my external hard drives. You know, got like 12 terabytes going on in this system. I need it. Even though I do also have to delete stuff over time because you just can't keep everything. I am very happy with this setup. So let's tell you the cursed story. So, I knew I wanted a laminate worktop, so I was like, okay, I'll have to get some sort of saw to cut laminate worktops. didn't have anything here that I could use. So I was like, right, maybe I'll just rent a jigsaw with a push cut blade, that'll do. 35 quid or something, I'm like, that's ridiculous, I could just buy one for that amount. So I did, jump. I'm not gonna say where I got the tool from, I'm just gonna say I got the tool locally, because the scenario I had in that store was just weird, and that's part of the story. So, got a jigsaw, got some push cut blades, measured everything out, you know, measure twice, 25 times, cut once. My corners in the back corner here and here, perfect, absolutely perfect, you know, slid in, shrunk, no rattle, nothing. And this edge was great, you know, I've got a finishing thing on here now, but this edge was great, all lined up. This edge, however, this wall is about 94 degrees basically, so that touched perfectly, and there was about 11 mil gap here. And this desk is 175 centimeters of 3 meters, and yeah, basically I had no way of fixing that. So I'd gone through all the effort of trying to rent one, then getting going and buying a jigsaw, going through cutting it perfectly, making there was no chips so I could just put it in there and put a line of sealant along the edge and it would be done. All of that was for none, because I ended up having to go and spend another 6 quid on a piece of aluminium stripping, which I've bent around the desk so it looks very sort of finished and nice, to cover up the fact that there is a gap there. I'm not hiding that from you, that really happened. And I also bought this, as I say, just to match it in, and it's ended up looking really nice. So I also had to round that corner off, because this was square-ended. My tip for doing that is take an offcut of this, attach it to it, belt sander, maybe even a file or some sandpaper, and work to the curve. Make sure you take the blade edge off that you form in here off, and make sure that doesn't stick up too much. And yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so when I went and picked the tool up, I went in and I ordered it at this store, and the person who was at the till was just a little bit socially awkward, and we know why that can be. So I'm understanding to that. That's fine. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Had a little chit chat with him, talked about bikes a little bit because he asked. Anyway, so the dude that has my tool, who comes up to like give it to me, seems to walk up to me and then just walk down to his little station. And then when I went down there and went, do you need to see this? Like, pulled out my receipt out my pocket. He literally jumped back at like 6 feet and went, no! And I'm like, it's my receipt. I didn't have my helmet on or anything like that, and you could consider it to be scary if I had my helmet on at the time, but I didn't. I was there for five or so minutes, chatting friendly with people, and he literally took a step back like, no! I ended up leaving just feeling so perplexed and weird. Just, as I say, it's just one of those situations that you just end up leaving like, okay. So, yeah, that was a whole cursed process, and as it turns out, I could have literally just used a rip saw to do it, because you wouldn't have known any different, because it was completely hidden in that end, and that end is the factory cut. Can you understand my frustration with that one? I went and spent money and time. It took at least half a day or so of going backwards and forwards to get tools and blah, blah, blah. Oh, actually more than that, because then I had to go out and get other bits. Yeah, to put a desk in, just because I didn't measure that the wall wasn't square. Why did I think that that wall would be straight? I don't know. I just assume that when someone builds a house, the walls will be square, but of course they never are. I mean, I was expecting it to be maybe a little bit out, and the idea that, you know, I'd say a couple of mil or something, but not only is it like 94 degrees, so it like sticks at its, well, maybe it's not 94, but it's, you know, it's a degree or so out. It also bows in the middle because of the way they constructed the wall. It's great, it's great. However, my space is nearly done. The feel of being in here and having this much space to think and make videos is great. There's still more things I need to do, as I say. I want to put some more lights in to make it a bit more, you know, fancy looking, because it looks nice in videos. I also kind of need another desk for doing top-down videos when I do explanations of some stuff. I'm going to basically do a couple more videos like this with things that I've done over the next couple of days, hopefully. So this is the plan I'm now like ramping up. And then I'll be making some bike videos, because I can edit again. I want to get out there if there's some nice weather. And then just from there, it's going to be, what do I want to talk about? What sort of video do I want to make today? Do I want to make a sat-down one in here? Do I want to make one out on the bike? It's just going to give me a bigger, broader set of brushes, as it were, to paint you the picture of entertainment while you poo. I do hope you had a good poo while watching this one. I can say, though, for doing this room, building that desk, buying some tools, doing the other room. There's a lot of filling, painting and stuff like that, and a few materials, all done for under 300 quid. It just took a lot of work and a lot of elbow grease to do it. I'm wondering if I need more sound deadening, because I think if I stand here, it sounds a little bit echoey, but I know I'm in this little chambered part, which I can't show because the window's that way. If I walk over here, unsolicited merch plug, buy one of my hoodies. Can you see it? Was I too far away? Oh, look, so subtle. Buy now, it would really help. Anyway, there are other ways, like supporting on Patreon. If I walk over here, sorry if I'm out of shot, this is where I'd be making videos, and I can hear already there's less echo here, but I don't know if it's going to affect this mic. And then over here, yeah, if I'm in the middle of the room, it is echoing again. So I think I need to put a few more strategically placed acoustic tiles in to stop the bounces. You know, it's interesting with sound deadening, you don't actually need to cover the whole of the wall. You just need to hit, basically I believe they would be known as like nodes, the points that the frequencies and the way that where the sound's coming, it causes it to bounce around. If you put very specified placement of ones, you can knock the echo out of a room with a lot less tiles. So it's cheaper, maybe looks better, easier, etc. Although you will have random tiles. The ones I've done around here is just to try and stop this and stop that. So there you go, it's not a final update, but it's getting very, very close to it. And as I say, by the end of this week, I want to be making videos on bikes, which people on Patreon will see this week, presumably. I do hope the sun stays, because it's been pretty out while I've been stuck here doing this. Before, when it was just raining and I was waiting to get to this, it was just rain, rain, rain. And so I was just sat there like, can't do this, can't do that, don't need to, why even move this? Because, oh, so glad, so glad we're at this point. So as always, to my patrons, a huge thank you. To the people that donate a couple of quid through PayPal, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. It really does, you know, it helps out, because time's been tough on YouTube at the moment. I don't know what they're doing, and I was getting a bit concerned it was mostly me. Now I understand why some of mine's down, because I've not producing the same sort of content or at the same rate, but even some massive creators have been talking about, like, we know things are kind of like go up and down throughout the year, but something's happening at the moment that's super weird. It's like very, what's going on? But yeah, okay, I'm not going to waffle anymore. Catch you in the next one. Bye bye.